The ego is the belief that the Son of God is a body, and so the body was made to make this belief seem real and true, for in reality nothing has been denied to the Son of God. The Son being the light of God, the light within God's mind, and so the light is our true identity, and the body was made to see something else that was not light. The ego is the mind of the body, and the ego has its home within the body. The body's identity is the ego's image of itself. To be free of this image of ourselves is to be free of fear, for the image of the ego is fearful because it was made to obscure the light and to see darkness. The world is filled with fearful egos, all defending the images they believe are real and true. In the old religious scriptures, the ego was given the name of evil, being the false identity that was made to deceive the Son of God, who dwells within the kingdom of heaven. The word evil is but live in reverse, and so evil has its meaning in death. The meaning of the Son of God refers to the light of God's mind and not to a specific gender identity, and so the Son of God is created in light and in love. And so to be a body whose mind has become the home of the ego is but to be deceived. Everyone enters into the world in a state of total forgetfulness, just as we enter into a dream in total forgetfulness. And dreams are made in darkness, where the light has been obscured and denied. The body serves this function of seeing in darkness what is not real and what is not true. The eyes of the body can see only 0.035% of the known electromagnetic light spectrum. This is not seeing. This is perceiving what is not there. And so the eyes see in darkness a world that is imagined. For seeing in darkness is the meaning of dreams, and dreams are illusions. If the new discoveries of dark matter are taken into account, this percentage of seeing is far, far less. Being made in darkness, which is one with forgetfulness, and seeing a world outside of heaven and outside of reality, the ego is fearful, and so the ego judges everything not from a place of knowledge, but from a place of lack of knowledge. To judge is to not know. The goal of the ego is to defend its dream, and so it is forever vigilant against the truth and reality, for truth must be where reality is, and not where illusions are. The ego's greatest defense is to attack truth, and so the ego must attack other bodies to maintain the illusion that it is real. For we do only attack something because we think it is real, and no one attacks what they do not believe in. To understand that both defense and attack are but one and the same, and that they are both made of fear, and fear calls for hatred, as a way of projecting outside the mind guilt, outside of oneself, and to see it in another. Because the ego suffers guilt, because guilt was the first thought that was made outside of the mind of God's Son when he fell into darkness. The guilt of separation and the guilt of loss of heaven. Heaven, where the love of God has its only meaning. And so the body has become our image of ourselves, and the world we see through its eyes is a world of fear and terror, being a world apart from heaven, and a world of loss. Death has its only meaning within a body, and so the ego must fear death. Yet all it can do is to destroy, because its first lesson was to destroy the truth and to destroy the knowledge of reality. The body, if seen without fear, can be seen for what it truly is. Being an animal, and therefore it is a beast, the ego strives to forever hide this fact, and so it dresses the body up in fine clothes it alone finds attractive. It covers itself with objects it alone values, and much more besides this does it do. It must hide the fact that the body is filled with shame and guilt. It seeks for pleasure because the body is a pain body, and every part of it is weak and vulnerable. Both pleasure and pain are the same to the body, as pleasure can become a pain, and pain can become a pleasure. The body is never truly seen, for it is hidden from sight because of its terrifying nature. No one sees more than a tiny slither of skin on the surface, no more than a molecule deep. Underneath there lies a sight no one can bear because of its horror. The ego makes unreal pictures of the body to make it acceptable to the spirit that has its life, that has taken refuge within it. For if the spirit was to see the body as it truly is, the spirit would not want to remain within it. The ego has taught that the body is alive and that we are the body, yet the truth is the body is inert and is lifeless itself. Its only claim to life is the spirit that dwells within it, directing the body as the driver directs a car. When one has become lost within the ego's world and sees themselves as a body, then one takes the body to be of value and must defend it, because we do defend what we value. Only when one sees they are not a body does the body lose its value and the fear of death disappears. Only then are we free of all the dramas of the world and all of its deception.